Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Daphne, and today I'll be presenting my case. My case is about Jerry. Jerry is a 14 years old black identified as a female. So there is no history about religion, sexual history, any legal history. And currently Jerry is in middle school. Um The case of Jerry. Jerry is a 14-year-old who lives with her mother and her two sisters and a younger brother. So she has been experiencing a lot of anxiety, depression, and self-esteem. This symptom are directly linked to her history of childhood trauma, because she's been neglected, she's been abused, and with a mother with the drug addiction, she has nobody who's helping her around, to which result of her being very dysregulated and isolate herself. She always play by herself. So, and the onset of Jerry current mental difficulty is gradually directed to the cumulative impact and adverse childhood experience. For example, when Jerry's at home, she has nobody where she talk to. Sometimes she come home from school, there's no food. Her mother is always doing something where she is very neglected. Like she has nobody like to do her hair, to check on her, like how she's dressed to go to school, and like to talk to her, play with her, because her older sister, they not usually around, they are under teen as well. So they're not usually around, but when they are around, they be focused on their homework or focused on themselves. So the ongoing impact and past physical and emotional abuse that she experienced with the maternal drug addiction are the primary factor um that that is present at Jerry's case. And the fact that her quiet demeanor and her playing by herself all the time also indicate her current emotional state and coping mechanism, because it is hard at school, it is hard for her to um to to um to relate it to other kids in school. Like she'll stay by herself, she play by herself, even like not socialize much. In terms of her living situation, Jerry, like I mentioned before, Jerry only live with her mother, and her father is not in her life. She's raised in a very dysfunctional environment, and she currently in school. She's not married. She's 14 years old. So there's no information about religion. So the mother didn't raise any cultural factors as well. And social activities, she's very isolated. She play by herself. She's very withdraw. And like I mentioned before, she also do not engage with her peers at school or at home. So when it comes to my assessment for Jerry, I think due to her current situation and past trauma in her young life, regarding physical and emotional abuse, with her mother also struggling with addiction. So this this have have profoundly impacted her mental health. They have impacted her mental health in a sense where she's unable to regulate herself. Sometimes she will be acting up in school, or even when at home, and she's not isolated herself, she'll be like dysregulated, like when she's talking to her mother, when she is talking to her sister. So she's very dysregulated. and her relationship with the family as well. So they don't really have a family. It's like they live together, but at the same time, they're not really engaging. There's no like an environment where I can describe like she's very safe at home, because she'll be going to school like undressed, her not getting done, her dress are not cleaned, are not ironed. One thing I want to indicate is that the lack of state of a stable environment in the family also could be one of the potential barrier. And when it's come like to doing the assessment, like and for also cultural background could be another potential barrier, but since we don't have any information right now, so I cannot include it in her assessment. But I think Jerry's anxiety and low self-esteem also can be can also hinder her ability to engage in therapy or building a relationship, because when I met Jerry once, so I tried to talk to her. I tried to say, listen, we're gonna meet today, we're gonna try to play a game. And even though I've been meeting with her for the past 2 months, I can say that we are not currently very progressing, as like, how she engaged with her peers and family. It's hard for her to communicate, it's hard for her to open up. But from what we are currently experiencing right now, that I can say that Jerry case is likely gonna be like very, very slow, as she's not very engaging. And one thing I try to do with her is when we meet, I usually tell her, um, I know you like to play with your Barbie. Why don't you come with your Barbie and we can play together? So try to play with her, like engaging on what she likes. So to try to build a trusting relationship and make her feel safe, where she can open up to me. And also, um, her connection with her sibling, even though they don't communicate often, but I also think using her sibling connection can also be a potential source of resources to include it on her assessment, where like I'm planning like after maybe a month, I will have a conversation with Jerry to ask her how she feel about like having her sister around while we meet, so we can play together and try to have them engage in certain things where where she can engage with them. Maybe like when they're playing, they might asking question, like talk, how was your day? Like try to talk about their emotion, their feelings. When it comes to my researches, I picked Jerry's case because I feel like Jerry case is something that I'm currently working on, and is something that is in the real world, that is happening right now. I feel the eager to learn, to do more research about the impact the mental health has on her, because as well she struggle with like with social image, because right now everybody's using a phone, everybody's going online, everybody has to look certain way, everybody has to wear certain dresses. In Jerry's case, so she has been struggling with eating disorder as well, because she thinks if I eat too much, I'm gonna look fat. If I don't eat at all, I'm gonna be skinny. So that's why I'm eager to do this research, because I know um, children who experience this trauma are usually um, have a very high risk high risk of health of mental health issues in their later life. For example, like right now she's 14, like she has low self-esteem. she's not eating because she feel like she's gonna be too fat or too skinny, or like kids at home, kids at school is gonna make fun of her. So for Jerry's case, I'm thinking about potentially explore literature review on how trauma impacted emotional dysregulation and attachment pattern that can increase the risk of disorder and her coping mechanisms. And additionally, and I think Jerry's difficulty with engaging with peers, with family, will also help me understand how trauma can disrupt family relationship development, but also help me and also help me see how trauma related difficulty and trust, intimacy, trust, and self-perception can play a role in the development of mental of eating disorder, which often can be significant interpersonal component. So this is what my research gonna be based off. So thank you for listening to me.